So, what was the defendant doing at the time? Was holding a knife in her right hand. Let me have a look at this for a second. I see no knife. Objection! Hey, it worked! And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with a knife? As I've already said, yes. I swore my finest salmon swirl lunch. Why is she turning into Edgeworth? Well, my old Edgeworth voice. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But it's not odd. Look at this photograph. This photograph very well took a moment of crime, is it not? Why is Miss Skye not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That just had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken a moment before the stabbing. It was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains of the Chief Prosecutor's coat? That's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes, hard to say, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? Got a better idea. Objection! Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took a picture of the moment she can witness the crime. Well, it seems that's slightly unclear. My apologies. I'm just okay, I need to change her voice a wee bit now. As I'm trying to do like the Shadow Queen from Thousand Year Dollars voice, but slowly turned into Edgeworth. That's it. If you ran out of lunch, you order 5 seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure if I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor's cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Objection! Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the Chief Prosecutor's hand in the photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, would she not be wearing those gloves? These gloves sure seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder? A serious offence. Witness, add this to your testimony. Murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. I don't know what the answer to this is, but I'm guessing it's the fact we don't have any rubber gloves. Well, she was in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves. The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. Oh, but rubber gloves can be used in autopsies. In other words, when the Chief Prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything planned was a premeditated crime. Well, maybe they did find gloves. Impressive. I'm sorry I took you off the horse, Miss Starr. This is bad. It's got them thinking it was all planned. If I can prove his claim, if she can prove his claim, trial's already over. God, think of a way I can show this wasn't premeditated. Okay, so it's flawless. Let me see, can I press anything? I said something. Okay, let me check, what can I present here? Actually, is it? Isn't it because it's Edward's knife, she would brought her own knife? Objection! Yes! Boys. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchboxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife was in Mr. Edwards' trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? A bloody murder weapon, the red car, it's all belonged for prosecutor there. The defendant is the chief prosecutor for this district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? Defense is a request. We ask a witness to provide an accurate testimony. What's that, Ricky? In your testimony, you stated Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing these special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion for me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh! The knife just happened to be in the trunk of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Ugh! Ugh! Order, order, order! Great, now the tide is turning in our favour. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Obviously not Vedras, yes sir. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you won't delude yourself into thinking the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah! The prosecution could care less if it's premeditated or not. Only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That's the only thing the prosecution needs to prove, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you should well know. She planned killing him, and it was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear testimony again. Witness, please only tell us what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? So, Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Gummy. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge a knife in again and again. Let me just check something here before we go on. This one knife will good. Okay, I find out the. It does sound like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I ordered pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In that case, an offence may cross-examine the witness. Well, I've already found out what the flipping contradiction is. I'm happy myself. Okay, so it's obviously this statement here. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my most surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed. Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize such mistakes are possible. So? You're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood on her breast. Splattered blood from the victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. And tell us what you saw. Did you follow his blood? Testify. Wait. If she said she thought that was blood, does that not just like... contradict what she said before. The fact there's like blood splattered all over. I've got to guess and say it says I have to present. I'm good at this now. Witness not clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunchleg could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But was there a scarf? No, not that, but something red, really. Well now, where were we? The defense has given witness to giving us an entertaining interlude. But back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. Solve a crime apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, she couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might be the moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's how me confuse my earlier statement. The Chief Prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Starr, resistance is futile. You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't you bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The Chief Prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hand aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hardly imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rower. Very well. Your cross-examination, Mr. Wright, if you will. I got that completely in the wrong order. Apprehending the suspect, right. Okay, so let's just press her and everything to try to find more information out. So where was this partition and the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There's a wall there, about 6 feet high. She's obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? Quickly, I caught her and explained to her rights. On the rest of the spot, I need to change her voice immediately, actually. Ah yes, I arrested her and she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused for her earlier testimony. The chief... Oh, what? Why am I doing that? I'm an idiot. Sorry. Just press. I was just reading that out. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, she's only 30 feet away from... I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her in more details? Alright, let's press her in more details here. I like to save some of the floor plans just to be safe. The Lechland car was... She was a visitor. But she parked in the B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would be about 30 feet away from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's correct. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing. Coffee Queen lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over a fence. She couldn't have gotten to the sister that fast. Yeah, fence is about 9 feet high too. How did Miss Skye not get away? Actually, I've got an idea of how that happened. So, let's ask her about this. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? I remembered exactly. I would have told you in the testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard was her say the word muffler. Saw one word. So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was on her phone. Her phone. She can't mean. Let's ask forever. By phone. Sorry, I Skype went off her. You mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't say, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use a phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car. There's an emergency phone wall. Apparently it was out of order. So she used her cell phone? Indeed. The emergency phone was out in the water that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing. Whatever happened to good testifying? She of course advocates your testimony. Things I do to please a rookie defense attorney.